Well, hello there. Welcome back to WRTV.
That was a bit of a somber opening. Are you sad, Dan?
Well, I think we all have to be a little bit sad. This may well be the last ever WRTV. Obviously, fully dependent on whoever takes over from us next.
It's true. It's been a wild ride. We're sad to see it end, but we're happy that we were a part of it.
Let it all sink in, folks.
Oh,
please.
man.
Yeah.
Just a moment of silence for
No,
WRTV.
we're not doing a moment of silence 30 seconds into the broadcast.
No.
Anyways, today we're joined by Danica Workington, co-director of the Sports and Rec Committee on CMU's Student Council.
Yes. Hi. Hello.
Thanks
I'm happy to be here.
Welcome here, Danny. So you are head of Sports and Rec.
I am.
Co-head, along
Co-head
with Rena.
Yes.
Yep. And you're also a member of the women's volleyball team, so we're buds.
Yeah, we're tight.
We're tight.
Middles.
No. Go middles. Sorry to leave you out of that, Dan. It's a volleyball
thing.
thing.
It's okay. I'm a middle too, but in soccer.
Okay.
That's not really it.
Not
It's
really.
okay. It's okay. We'll move on.
But there's some posters up, Danny, that some people might have seen with some really exciting information promoting some sports events for the larger CMU community. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so we've put forward this program called March Madness.
Cute.
Where every Wednesday there will be some form of new sport in the gym. So we did volleyball this past week, which was a blast. Lots of people showed up.
Fun.
It was really good. And this next week we have
Badminton?
dodgeball is the badminton this week. Yeah, we have badminton this coming week, and then dodgeball, and then futsal.
Wonderful.
So people can just drop by from 12 to 3 p.m. and it's a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah. So to clarify, the times are every Wednesday, noon to 3. This coming Wednesday is badminton, then it's dodgeball, and then it's futsal?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
Sweet. Well,
Dan, are you a fan of March Madness?
No, I don't usually like March Madness. I don't know. There's something about it that's just not really my vibe.
What about this March Madness?
This March Madness sounds like something I can get
Yeah.
behind.
There you go.
This
Yeah.
March Madness is for everyone. I love it. So
Yeah.
with volleyball, are things pretty relaxed, or were things getting competitive? Like, what was the vibe in the gym?
Oh, it was definitely very relaxed.
Nice.
I accidentally hit Ty in the face.
Oh no.
That's pretty
Which was,
non-relaxed.
it got pretty competitive after that. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. They were very good about it. But in general, it's just very relaxed. People having a really good time. Because we tried to kind of lean into those sports that aren't played around CMU. Like, we have a lot of basketball, soccer things going on. So we tried to get more into, like, the dodgeball and badminton side
dodgeball's
of it.
a classic. Okay, I gotta remind myself of when that is, because I just want to throw a ball at someone really hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm surprised there isn't any spike ball on here.
Yeah.
I mean, when the weather gets nice, anything planned, you think?
There could be a tournament at the end of April in the works, but I won't promise anything.
Okay, yes,
The
that's
last
true.
time we had a spike ball tournament, it was a huge hit, so we tried to get into some other sports for this time.
Awesome. Yeah, change it up a little bit.
Well,
Yeah.
and that kind of leads into my next question, is that you and Rena are not running Sports and Rec next year, correct?
No, we are not.
So is this potential spike ball tournament in the end of April, is that kind of your final wave goodbye?
Final hurrah.
Yeah.
I think it will be.
Okay.
I think it will be.
It's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sad. It's been a good run with her. And she's been doing it for 2 years, but I
Yeah.
trust Taylor to take over the wheel
Very
confidently.
exciting. I mean, as long as spike ball is an option, I feel like sports and rec can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
that's
don't
true.
think so.
CMU's unofficial official sport, I would
Oh,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
There needs to be more coverage on it.
Yeah.
Friend. Yeah.
You guys used to didn't you not live stream like the
Yep.
finals?
That's
I love
incredible.
it.
That's
I
so
love
good.
it.
My whole family was watching from Alberta.
Wow. Wow. That's
I love that.
were you playing in the finals too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We've had,
So special.
because it just became a res thing that was just so fun. And yeah, so I told my family about it and they were like, oh, like live stream it. And that was at the point where we could have like 5 people to a lounge. And so
that's
it was
right, yeah.
indoors. So we had to live stream it for people to watch. So people were watching from like second floor and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, Danny, you're not only a person who loves sports, loves spike ball, but many, many talents. Today, you gave a speech in today's forum. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about the content of this speech and what the event was?
Yeah. So my speech was called Join the Feast.
Ooh,
So it was focused on how food can act as a peacemaker.
I'm into that already.
Yeah. And it's an area I want to study more about, just those intersections between food, like it goes into food sovereignty, which is a huge issue. Stuff like that, where food really has the capacity to be a peacemaker, to build connection between people.
It's
I
wonderful.
like that. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, I like food and I like peacemaking, and if the two kind of come together, I mean, I don't really
That's
see
ideal.
any. There's no problems for me.
It's a very CMU kind of
It is a
topic.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
If you want anyone to come to any event ever at
the thing.
CMU,
There's going to be
you
bubblies or
gotta
candy bars
offer
or
food.
Yeah,
pancakes.
exactly.
Yeah, pizza,
Yeah.
soup and buns. That was
Soup
there
and
soup and buns.
buns.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Except I had a line in there where I was like, think about the last thing you ate today. Let's say it was a salad. And then I was like, oh, of course, they all just ate soup. What am I talking about? But
Let's all just pretend the soup was
Yeah.
a salad.
Is soup just warm salad? I'm trying my best here to make a connection, but
Oh,
I think it
God.
probably still worked.
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
I'm not worried.
The whole kind of theme of the event was like peace building, correct?
Yeah. It was a piece oratorical contest.
Oratory.
oratorical contest.
Yes.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you in any oratory classes?
I'm
Oral
not.
communications? No.
I'm really not. I would love to be. I think it's a really cool area. But
But you
Sadly,
are a
no.
peace and conflict major?
no,
Or-
I'm currently I'm thinking about doing an interdisciplinary degree
Lovely.
That's what
on
seemed
actually peacemaking and food.
classic. Wow.
So this was kind of my test run of like, does this actually fit? Oh yeah, it fits. I could do a degree in this.
Wow, what a wonderful experience. Summing up a degree in a speech.
Yeah.
Good for
That's
you,
pretty good.
Danny. That's a
Yeah.
lot of work.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I have some questions about kind of the intersectionality with sports and peace building.
Oh.
I don't know if we want to get into it, but one of the things that I think kind of gets thrown around a lot in sporting worlds is this idea that sports, especially pro sports, can't be political necessarily. But there's also a lot of pushback from people saying that it should be, and people with that kind of a platform, higher profile athletes, should use their platforms to promote certain human rights violations,
Oh,
things like that. Do you, as a sports and rec co-chair and budding food peacemaker, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. On the politics, because I feel like at CMU we don't get too political, which I appreciate, and that's something me and Rena and I think about when we're planning events too. Is like, how can we actually make this a place that people want to be,
Right.
and bringing together commuters and resident students, which is the biggest challenge
Politics
for
at
us.
CMU.
Yeah, there's the politics. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely think that sports has an opportunity to really disintegrate some of those
Boundaries, yeah.
challenges that people might have with each other. Just because I feel like it's a good release for people, especially when you're on a team and you switch up teams and suddenly you're on other teams. Like, I think it opens people's eyes to like, oh yeah, we're all just having a good time.
Something that I noticed immediately, this was last year when restrictions were super heavy.
Yeah.
I live here on campus. You also live here on campus.
Yeah.
And something that I saw consistently from the beginning of the year was all the first years playing spike ball constantly. And we're talking about spike ball again. But it just made my heart so happy
Yeah.
to see just constantly, like, you guys would figure out how to turn on the lights outside,
Yeah.
like in the rink, right at the beginning of the year. And to see the first years and everybody just coming together and actually building relationships, even though you couldn't necessarily be in the same room or like
Yeah.
be in the lounges. That was a really cool, I would say, like, peace building kind of activity that I saw. And so, yeah, seeing sports and rec doing
Yeah.
things like that is just always been really cool.
Yeah, it's this cool thing because you don't have to be anybody to play a sport.
Right.
Like, you're just doing this fun thing with other people, and you don't have the pressure of like, I hope they appreciate what I'm saying and whatever else. So
Right. Just
I
having
think
a
it
good time.
really bonded our year together last year.
And I could tell, and it's a strong year as well, and I can still
Yeah.
tell with, I mean, the friendships at CMU. They're strong.
Are we going to go community?
Community! Woo!
Nice. Oh, good. Oh, good.
That's we had to say it one more time.
It's what we're saying it one more time. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, I just meant we had to say it one time, at least on this stream. But we can do it. 1, 2, 3, community.
Great. Good. Hi, Cheryl. Who's watching this? What? Yeah. Does that earn us brownie points?
Yeah. And with that, Danny, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm looking forward to that potential spike ball tournament and
Yeah.
also chucking some dodgeballs around the
Yeah,
gym
exactly.
on Wednesday.
Definitely come to that.
But you won't catch Chloe at a futsal game. That's not good.
I will break my legs.
Yeah, she's got weak ankles.
I
It's
got
okay.
weak ankles, so that's probably not the best idea.
Well, Dan, you play futsal.
I
Will
do.
you be there?
Probably.
Does it work with the schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
There we
It's
go.
after
We got
everything's
one
done.
person
Yeah, for
coming.
Dan will be there.
Yeah, but we invite you all to come. March Madness, Wednesdays in the gym, 12 to 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Danny.
You're welcome.
See you there.
See you.
Thanks, Danny.
Oh, sports.
Sports.
Gotta
Well,
love them.
Speaking of sports, let's hop into the daily.
Let's hop into the daily.
So today,
Big day.
it's a huge day for the men's volleyball team, as previously covered on the show.
Yeah.
We've talked about how the men's volleyball team is the first ever MCAC volleyball team to go to nationals.
Yeah, we talked to Levi Clausen about it. It was a wonderful conversation. Go back, watch that.
Yeah, and today is their first ever game there.
First game.
So who are they playing? The Hawks?
The
I mean, I know
Hawks.
it's the Hawks.
Yeah.
Do we know who the Hawks are?
Nope.
Okay, good. Me
Humber
neither.
College, I believe.
Humber?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Humber Hawks.
So,
Oh.
big day, big day.
Yeah.
I texted our buddy / camera person, Matt Paget, and I was
Yep.
like, big, happy game day. Good luck.
Yeah.
Said
So-
some things in French. I think
Go, right, because it's in Quebec.
'Cause it's in Quebec.
Right,
I think I said très bien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is actually a watch party tonight at 7 p.m. for the game, conference room on South.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, go and check it out if you're interested in watching along, cheering along.
I know the team would really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be videos circulating on social media about the support that CMU gets.
So much
if you show up
support.
to the conference room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another event also happening. Oh no, today at 7 p.m.
Yeah, but it's one of these things where it's like you'll be interested in this or you're going to be interested in
That's
this.
true. One or the other. I mean, in conclusion, you have something to do tonight. 7 p.m. Theatre of the Beat is presenting their social justice-based Ontario theatre group with ties to CMU, and they're offering a free showing of their most recent interactive play called Unmute. So if you want to watch on your own screen, you can pre-register on the daily. Find that in your email. But if you want to join others, you can come watch in C11 at 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
So some theater going on, which is excellent.
Yeah, a little blurb about the play. This is straight from Theatre of the Beat. Our new Zoom play Unmute creates an important dialogue around the concept of domestic violence and gender-based violence. Did you know that during COVID-19 there's been a rise in domestic violence cases? It can feel unnerving not knowing what to do. Unmute is an interactive forum theater piece that will allow audience members to stop the action of the play and suggest different approaches to navigating these difficult situations around gender-based violence.
Very interesting.
It's a really cool kind of setting mode of theater. And I've never seen it done over Zoom, and it could be very interesting, especially with the fact that unmute, pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be
Very
very
online
interesting.
based. Yeah,
Check
so
it
you
out.
can do that on
Be
your
fun.
own screen or
Yeah.
in person in C11.
It's interactive, but you don't have to do any performing yourself.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next up, the sustainability market is coming. Their host, Peace and Sus, is hosting a sustainability market on Friday, April 1st from 2 to 4 in the conference room. That's on South, of course. They will be selling reusable and sustainable products marked down to half price
Wow.
for CMU students.
Wow.
And they're also featuring 5 CMU student artists who will be selling their creations for anyone to buy. There's going to be live music and snacks.
Snacks.
Of course.
Snacks.
Snacks, as well as a raffle prize for everyone who attends to enter. And they hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also, this is not this week, but it's the week after, April 7th. This is a Thursday.
Okay.
8 p.m. Great Hall. Everybody's favorite event. Film 60.
A classic.
Yeah.
Just
So,
a beautiful time.
Yep, Film
If you've
60.
never been, you got to go.
you got to go. Yeah. I mean, I think Film 60 and High Res are two of my favorite events. And
Most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, High Res hasn't been announced yet, but I'm sure that'll happen this year.
Yeah.
I'll talk
but
to somebody.
Film 60, so if you haven't been, it's an event where short films made by CMU students
Mm-hmm.
are shown here at CMU.
Around 60 seconds in length is
Yeah,
usually the.
you can keep it short, but people obviously don't follow the rules. It
No.
can kind of be whatever you want it to be.
My second year, I was in a show that, or in a movie that was 6 minutes long.
Yeah, it was a little bit
It was a
longer.
little bit longer than 60 seconds.
And it was wonderful.
Oh, it was great,
A little
yeah,
spooky, but it was
yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
But this one It's a red carpet theme.
Wow.
So you can get dressed up.
Wow.
I know we're still kind of getting back into this season of like, and the spaces of like being able to like go to an event and dress up. So take advantage of it because that's fun. So that's, again, April 7th.
Enjoy some company with mocktails and fancy snacks. Fancy snacks.
Ooh, fancy snacks.
Snacks, but fancy.
Fancy
Good,
snacks.
Good. And that kind of sums up
That's the daily for
weekly
today.
daily. Yeah.
All right.
We got something interesting next.
We got something interesting next. We'll see how this goes. A little bit of a bittersweet moment for Daniel and I. This is not only our last WRTV episode, it's also our last year here at CMU. We are graduating in about a month.
Slightly over a month.
A little bit over a month.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do some reminiscing, some reflecting, and ask some questions to our first year selves.
Yeah.
For you, how many years ago was that for you, Dan?
6 years ago.
6 years ago. Yeah, that was 5 years ago for me. So
I mean, yeah.
we'll try to get back into that.
Really just 5.5? I don't even know. I don't really know.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I don't
So
want
we
to think
want
about
to
that.
kind of get back into that mindset. We have some photos of our tiny little first year selves.
I only have photos of
You
me
playing
as,
soccer.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
don't take photos of myself.
Yeah, I know you don't.
And so
But someone else does while you're on the field,
yeah,
and that's
shout
lovely.
out Josh Ewert.
Thank you, Josh
Yeah.
Ewert, for preserving the memories of Dan
Yep, one
in
time.
his first year.
He's been around. OG.
So I'm going to ask a question to your first year
Oh
self.
no. Okay.
So a classic thing at CMU, you sit down in a class for the first time, and you're often asked, like, why are you in this class? Or, like, why are you taking this program or this major? When your first year self was asked that question, do you remember what you would have responded with?
Yeah, absolutely. My first year, and I think this goes for a lot of people, I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Of course,
I didn't
yeah.
really want to be at CMU. Like I wanted to be at CMU, but I
Okay.
didn't want to be there for the goal that I had was to be there or be here rather for
Yeah.
1 or 2 years absolute maximum.
And would first year Daniel have said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, hands down. I only decided that I was going to come to CMU 3 days before classes started.
What?
So I was registered and everything, but I only decided to follow through on actually showing up to classes and not dropping out 3 days before my first ever class.
This is a story I did not know.
Yeah, so I mean, I wanted to be here, but there wasn't really any massive
Right.
pull.
Yeah.
And then I found myself in a few different classes. And honestly, there was a class in my second semester I took radio workshop team with Daryl Neustadt-Barg
Yeah.
and David Balzer.
The power duo.
It really convinced me to see that there was a lot here for me. So I would have said, 6 years ago, I would have said, I'm
I'm not going to stay here.
Yeah, I'm not going to stay here. I'm here for some requirements, some prerequisites.
Play some
for other
soccer.
places. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was play some soccer and take some interesting courses.
And look at you
But
now,
I wasn't staying. But
getting that full degree.
6 years later, it's terrible. It's terrible. Should I ask you the same question back?
I mean, yeah, it's not as long of an answer because I've kind of just kept steady. You would have asked me what I want to do, like why am I here? I would have been like, I want to major in communications and media. I want to play volleyball. And back then I probably would have said, and I might want to work in radio. And so now I will. And now I say
you work in
I
radio.
work in radio. And at one point I would say I do want to work in radio.
Right.
So the path has been steady for Chloe.
So you're saying you're boring.
I'm pretty dang boring.
Great.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's working at CBC isn't boring.
Not
It's
at all.
okay.
Not at
That's
all.
fine. That's fine. Yeah, and I guess for you that answer hasn't changed
Yeah.
then.
But for you, it has. What would you say now?
Has the answer changed? Yeah, obviously the answer has changed. It definitely changed after that first year. And that second year, and continuing to see that there's a lot of stuff that a lot of ways that this communications degree can fit into a lot of my other passions and hobbies,
Right. Yeah.
and a lot of different ways that I can tie those things in together, and just kind of seeing more the value in it.
Right.
Not that I didn't necessarily see the value, but I didn't see the whole picture of it.
You see it a little bit more once you're in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and especially you take the courses, and yeah, that's
Cool.
that's how that's changed for me.
Lovely. going off of that, another question: what would your first year self be surprised by now?
Oh,
maybe the
man.
fact that you're still here.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Well, because so I have a story of, I don't know if you remember Mike Wiebe, but
Everybody remembers Mike
of course. So he was my admissions counselor, or he was one of the admissions
Yeah.
counselor when I came to CMU in
Yeah.
the first place. And I remember the opening chapel, showing up, sitting next to him, and I didn't know him at the time.
Okay.
And I said, we were making small talk
Yeah.
before chapel began, and I said something I said something along the lines of, I'm only planning on being here a year and a
Right.
bit. And he said, that was my plan too, but look at me, I'm here 7 years later. And I mentally in my head went, that's never going to be me. That's so stupid. That's never going to be me. And I'm getting fingers from Daryl behind the camera as well, saying that was something that Daryl said too, and he's here 30 years later, which really doesn't bode
that
well
the
for
right
me,
number?
man.
No, he shrugs. He doesn't know. It's okay.
So
Starting
since
in 86.
86.
Okay.
So it really looks real bad for me, or really good,
So what surprised you? I mean, you're eating your words, and that's
I am.
That's
It's okay.
fine.
I don't mind a little bit of humble
I feel
pie.
like I'm going to try to answer this question.
Okay, sure.
I mean, obviously, I'm doing what I thought I would be doing, which is nice. What I would be surprised, though, is just, how much more confident I am now. I feel like first year Chloe was, just kind of, getting her feet wet, starting to figure out what her passions were in terms of, public speaking and, doing events and, radio and, making things. And now I feel like I can just walk into any space and just, fully be there and be myself, and it's a really cool thing. So I would say I'm most surprised by that building of confidence.
Yeah, I think that's one of the great things that's been for me, especially over the last couple of years with Wittenberg Radio. and
Yeah.
you, is this everybody asks us to
Host things.
Yeah, host things.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily something that has been a Wittenberg staple in the past.
No.
But it's probably going to continue on now.
Yeah.
Is this kind of face of CMU student body hosting something.
Yeah, same words.
Yeah, exactly. So that's been a lot of fun, and it's been a lot of fun to feel important.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And we were talking before the broadcast began about how both Chloe and I are narcissists. So that really plays
We
into
like to
this.
hear our own voices.
Yeah, it's true. Well, yeah, yes, but also not in that way. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to feel wanted.
Yeah. What would you, little Chloe, what would they be excited about?
Oh my gosh.
What would they be disappointed about?
Lil Chloe would be so excited that she's working in radio.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Lil Chloe, as a kid, people would be like, what's your dream job? And I'd say, I don't know, kind of anything at CBC. And so being able to now work there has been wonderful. And that, I think, is through my practicum and my experiences here. So I think she would be pleasantly surprised by that. Disappointed. Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like...
It's a good one, and she came up with the questions.
Yeah, it's a good question. Thank you, Chloe, for asking that. You're welcome, Chloe. I think I would be disappointed by the fact that I don't have a cat yet.
Wow.
I kind of always...
I'm disappointed by that.
I kind of always thought that I would have a pet by now, especially after moving out of and living on my own, because my mom hates pets. So I feel like little Chloe would be like, hey, Chloe, you're doing real good right now. Where's your cat? That's my answer. What about you? What would you be surprised by, and what would you be disappointed by?
Still at CMU.
Okay, both? Go with the disappointed.
Initially, probably, yeah, disappointed. Yeah, probably straight up at the start of my CMU career, I'd be very disappointed that I was still here. That's not how I feel now. Just for
hey, admissions, you
sake.
you wanna use this to get
Yeah,
future students?
it's very much changed since then. And CMU is a great institution, and I love it here. And they're not holding me here.
No.
No, but yeah, initially that's probably disappointment. Disappointment wise. I don't know if I'd have a whole lot of disappointments.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Maybe not having more MCAC medals.
Honestly, I'll take 2.
2 is good.
It's better than what I thought I was going to have.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Very
it's been a
positive.
good
I
time.
love that
Yeah,
answer.
I was never at CMU for the medals. I was
Right.
there to have a good time and play soccer. I got my high-level experience elsewhere. But
The medals are just a plus.
yeah, and especially doing it with the teams that I did, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say are the biggest changes you see between your first year self and today's self? And I kind of want you to picture that photo that we had of you, first year Dan playing soccer. What are the biggest changes between this Dan and that Dan?
Well, I'm not so much of a runt anymore.
Oh.
I wasn't ever short, but I was definitely hadn't grown into my body yet. I don't know if there's been. I think so. I was always confident.
Yeah.
And always like able to be outgoing and talk to people and talk on a stage or do things like that. But I think I've become a lot more articulate with my thoughts. And I think
Dan says words good now.
I've always been able to say words good, but able to think through those words good first. Not even necessarily
Saying them
first,
with more
but saying-
intention, maybe.
Yeah, well, and being in, I think that's a direct response to the fact that I've spent a lot of time in these situations where, like at CMU, where there's engaging conversations.
Critical thinking skills.
Yeah, exactly. And that's obviously a big thing for any university, but I think it comes through at CMU a lot. And when you're in a communications degree, you better learn how to communicate. So
I would hope so.
yeah, maybe what how about for you? What are some big changes that you see between your first year self and
I have
and
much less hair now.
I have the same amount of hair, which is crazy.
Yeah, you kinda went back to
I
that
went
same
down and I
style.
went back up and I went down and I went back up.
Immediately, that's my first, like visually, I feel like I look quite different. I have less hair, I have more makeup, and brighter clothing, and I love it. Mm-hmm. Like CMU has fostered an environment where I felt like I could like explore my identity and how I presented myself and like how I looked at other people. And that sounds like, I know people are like, oh, it doesn't matter what you look like, but like kind of growing into yourself is a really cool thing. So that would be my answer. Biggest changes? I mean, obviously confidence, I've said that before, but I look different. Yeah, and that's not a bad thing.
If you had to tell that long-haired first-year self something, what would it
Shave
be?
your head already. No.
No, I think Julie would not
My
be
mom,
happy.
yeah, I wish it wasn't, yeah. But I feel like I would tell her that, I'm just imagining little Chloe sitting right there. That's so sweet. I think I would tell her that it's just like, every single year is going to bring something different, but every single year is going to be very necessary and very beneficial and just worth my while. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just enjoy the ride. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would this Dan tell little Dan? Little Dan sitting in chapel, you sit down beside him, and you're like, watch out. You're going to be here for 5 more years.
Enjoy the ride. Probably get a little bit more engaged earlier on. I think that's
Yeah.
something that, and this is obviously, I mean, Danny was even talking about it when she was here.
Yeah.
That connection of commuter students don't really have a huge amount of connection into the greater CMU.
Yeah, it takes a lot of
community
like
life.
personal investment in it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think I should have done that more. And as a first year, and as a second year, even it's pretty easy just to go to a lounge and just like nap or just be on your computer or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's lots of cool things happening, and there's cool people that want to talk to you, and you should want to talk to as well.
Yeah.
And there's at CMU, there's so much opportunity for networking, but not necessarily networking in a job sense.
Right,
but
like relational networking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Everybody's so open and kind, and open to talking and building relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Beautiful.
yeah. I think
like it.
that's the best thing that I've ever gotten out of CMU is the
Yeah.
relationships that maybe not best thing, but one of the best things is the relationships that I feel like I've built with my profs and instructors. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you can get that anywhere else.
And your co-host.
Okay, but
Wow.
but I could
Can we freeze frame that?
But I could
don't know if we have ability. That'd be cool.
I could do. But my point is, I could do that at another university though, and I don't think that
Yeah, okay.
those relationships that I've
With
built
the profs and the
with
faculty.
profs-
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
could name on like I would take both my hands to name the people, the profs, instructors that I feel like I've
Right. You could just
built
walk into
really
their
good
office,
Yeah,
sit down,
exactly.
and have a good chat.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And,
Very true.
Maybe one or two at a different university, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank little Chloe and little Dan for joining us today.
Oh man.
All right. I guess we got to get into the last quick wit ever.
Wits. Yeah. I got one.
Okay.
Okay, so we've been a little crap at doing podcasts.
Oh, yes.
In our tenure as Wittenberg co-hosts.
Right.
That being said, I think we've done a lot of other things, but we've maybe let the actual initial podcast part.
The
fall by
radio
wayside.
part of Wittenberg
Yeah.
Radio.
It's not that there was ever a massive audience for that, but I hope that Kara and Andrew.
I believe they were the sole people who ran for it.
They got elected. So shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's always going to be opportunity. I'm glad that we built this platform for other things
Other than podcasting.
Yeah, I mean WRTV, even though it might not continue forward, hosting events, things like that.
Right.
We were gonna
Video
moderate
content.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's a whole bunch of things that never were
Right.
really integrated into Wittenberg Radio. It was a podcast that was every second week that just talked for
Yeah.
20 minutes and wasn't edited.
Yeah.
But I think we've brought a lot of new things to the table that I think other people can either build on, and if they're kind of crap, then they can leave them. You know, if they don't want to touch them, they can not touch them. And
very true.
there's just a lot of avenues that they can
Yeah.
go down now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My quick wit would be agreeing that we've done a lot less podcasting. But here's what my suggestion would be. I would love to see, and obviously Wittenberg Radio, not necessarily a communications department directly correlated thing, but there is amazing content that is created in a lot of communications classes, in a lot of music classes, and a lot of just all sorts of classes. Like students are making wonderful, wonderful projects. And I would love to see perhaps Wittenberg, perhaps something else become more of an avenue for people to share their projects. Maybe like share their papers, share their speeches, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I feel like I learn from other people and their projects.
absolutely.
So seeing more of that, I think, would be wonderful.
Cool.
My other quick wit is that I'm sad.
That's not a great quick wit. What does that mean?
With WRTV, this is the last episode, you know?
Well, this is us signing off.
Oh, for the very last time.
Yeah, are we gonna do that thing where we say
Where we
goodbye
just keep
a number
saying
of times?
goodbye, go over and over and over.
Yeah, I feel like that's the.
I feel
for
yeah.
old
We'll just
time's sake.
let the live stream team decide
No,
when we're.
but seriously, thanks for everything. It's been a blast. I wonder if this is gonna get clipped and put on our Instagram. Maybe it is.
We'll
If
put
it is,
really sad music. Start the sad music now,
yeah,
Chloe.
this is the tiny violins. But no, seriously, it's been a blast. It's been a good time.
Thank you for all your kind words and your support.
Yeah, I think we'll still probably have maybe a podcast or two, maybe.
We're not done.
Come out, but yeah, it's been fun to explore different avenues and be able to have the platform to do it. And I'm looking forward to the future of Wittenberg Radio.
And thank you, live streaming class. Thank you, Daryl Newstater Barg.
Yeah, take care, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.